On Osrc News at 7, women folk spread message of gender equality as world commemorates Women's Day. Governor Akeredolu bans filling station in Ondo State from selling petrol beyond 7 p.m. Senate moves to amend Electoral Act despite court ruling. And from the foreign scene, Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, in ruins after bombardment by Russia.
Thank you very much for joining us on the news at 7. I am Oyewumi Ayinigbara. And tonight we begin with International Women and Women in Ondo State have joined counterparts across the globe to mark this year's Women's Day celebration in Akure, Ondo State capital. Wife of Ondo State Governor Arabiri Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, who led other women on this year's commemoration, challenged them to raise their voices against all limiting traditions and reclaim for a constitution that is fair to all. Omoriola Ngbeji reports that 60 packs of Solayo kits were distributed to pregnant women at the event.
With the theme, Gender Equality Today for Sustainable Tomorrow, women in Ondo State gathered at the Akure South Local Government Secretariat to add their voices to their counterparts across the globe on the need for gender equality. Wife of Ondo State Governor Arabiri Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu said the cultural and socio-economic difficulties women face on a daily basis shows a great testimony that women are a special breed. She challenged women in the state to raise their voices against all limiting traditions and clamor for a constitution that is fair to all, adding that representatives of women in Ondo State are currently with their counterparts in Lagos and Abuja in the quest to fight for their rights. Distributing Solayo kits, which contains sanitary pads, Macintosh, among other items, Arabiri Anyanwu Akeredolu promised to intensify more efforts to assist the less privileged so that they are not left alone to bear the harsh economic burden of the moment.
So Solayo contains everything you need, for self-delivery. So it's not the racking of
Earlier, the wife of Akure South Local Government Chairman, Mrs. Olufunke Olaniyi, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs, Mrs. Foluke Tunde Daramola, among others, lauded the wife of the governor for putting smiles on the faces of pregnant women in Ondo State.
If you look around, you will discover that there are more pregnant women here today. I want to say that our Honorable is passionate about the issue of women in this state. It's going a long way to ease the pains and the challenges many women are facing.
It's amazing. It's the way
delivery.
We really appreciate what you give us. May God bless you in Jesus' name.
Meanwhile, all pregnant women in Ondo State are to benefit from the gesture as the distribution of the Solayo kits is being replicated across the 18 local government areas of Ondo State. Omoriola Ngbeji, Osrc News.
Also, the Ondo State chapter of the National Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ today, joined thousands across the country to demand gender equality and protest the rejection of gender abuse at the National Assembly. The women carrying placards with various inscriptions said women must be given the requisite societal opportunity to thrive. The NAWOJ chairperson, Doris Olumoko, who led the peaceful protest which took place in Akure, the Ondo State capital, said women deserved better living conditions and described the rejection of gender abuse by the National Assembly as a ploy to frustrate women out of the political leadership. Olumoko urged women to keep pace with their demand for legislative rights until their desires are granted, especially in the area of gender equality in governance.
Today is International Women's Day. It is a day set aside the world over to celebrate women, to celebrate us for the great things we are doing. But here in Nigeria, it's so sad that today, instead of celebrating ourselves, instead of engaging in different kind of activities to celebrate ourselves, we are on the streets registering our displeasure over what we call gender discrimination. We want an end to unnecessary bias against women in Nigeria. All we want is for the National Assembly to revisit those pro-women bills and reverse it so they can give us a place of pride. We are not asking for too much, we are just asking for 35% affirmative action. We are asking that Nigerian women should be adequately represented in the political space.
Now, what chairperson Doris Olumoko speaking there? Meanwhile, women under the edges of Nigerian women groups also stormed the National Assembly in protest against the rejection of women-related bills by the lawmakers. The group said the marginalization suffered by women must stop in the country, just as they demanded for an apology from the legislative arm of government.
We are here to express our deep sense of pain. We are here to express our disappointments. We are here to register that we are not satisfied with the quality of leaders that we elected to represent us. People that are speaking against their own selves. Because any man that speaks against a woman, he is speaking against himself.
Bernie.
It is unfortunate that in the 21st century that we are in today, a so-called giant of Africa, my own Nigeria, the country that I'm so proud of, that we have people that we stick our neck to elect them to represent us, to speak for us, to speak for 50% of the population of Nigeria, and they decided to say we do not count. Sisters, women, the time for us to rise against this evil is now. We must rise. It is a clarion call. It is not time.
And still on International Women's Day, as the world marks the International Women's Day, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has identified with the women folk. In a statement, the governor urged women to be hopeful and remain focused, assuring that the journey to the final desirable birth shall be undaunted. Governor Akeredolu, on the rejection of gender bills by the Senate to create the required leverage for women, said it is unarguably a great disincentive and setback that has deprived the country of an ample opportunity for progress and development. He praised Nigerian women for coming of age, saying their virtues and indelible marks of honor, as well as the serious individual determinations, not only towards self-development, but their displayed benevolence and compassion for humanity are huge narratives that cannot be discountenanced by society. Governor Akeredolu saluted the courage of the House of Representatives that has demonstrated its readiness to align with the mood of the nation by its decision to revisit the rejected bills. According to the governor, it clearly shows that all hope is not lost to liberate women from the artificial barricades and shackles constructed by men and the society at large. He expressed his unalloyed support to the women folk in overcoming the challenges that seek to hold them down from advancement. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has extolled Nigerian women on the occasion of this year's International Women's Day. In a statement by the presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina, President Buhari said the celebration is an opportunity to reflect on the vital roles women play in society, homes, governance, the professions, and in all walks of life. He noted that women are not where they should be. They can no longer be deprived and in all fields. Also, Queen Luciano Foundation has commemorated the International Women's Day to enlighten the women core, said the day is to celebrate women and help grow the Ondo State capital.
Business women by the foundation. Beneficiaries appreciated the foundation for its kind gesture and promised to utilize the resources provided them.
I also use it by the grace of God to empower us.
I've gained a lot concerning the health issue, concerning to be a good woman.
A sustainable future and an equal future remains beyond our reach. Bisola Aluko, Osrc News.
Elected in the process of the 1999 Constitution Amendment. The bills are on internship, citizenship, and 35% affirmative action for women will be recommended for consideration and will be part of the. And the Senate has moved to amend the 2022 Electoral Act, disregarding a federal high court order restraining the National Assembly from with the newly amendment of powers, and the judiciary cannot stop another arm of government in performing its roles in a democracy. The court, in a ruling delivered by Justice Inyang Ekwo, had specifically barred all the defendants in the suit from removing Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act of preventing it from being implemented.
Face the full wrath of the law. He said petrol stations that have fuel must sell, noting that the state government has the prerogative on when and how it.
We are saying that no station is permitted